Welcome back to the day 5 of Advent of Code. So this event is getting crazier day by day. So now the storyline has took us to the cafeteria, the favorite place in my office. So over here, what you can see is, let's get to the question now. Yeah. In the question you can see we have fresh ingredients and we have spoiled ingredients. We have been given some IDs. These are the ranges of the IDs. So this range, that is 3 to 5. So all the elements included in this range, including the first and the last element, will be fresh elements. Any element that does not belong to these ranges will be a spoiled element, such as 1. 1 does not belong to any of these ranges, so it is a spoiled element. So what we can do, the first and the most basic approach would be, uh, first pass both the inputs, and once after passing the inputs, what we can do is take the element, suppose num, check if it lies in the range. So in Python, what we will write the code as is num, sorry, for are in range, whatever the list of ranges that we'll have after passing the input. So r is that for r in range, if now what we'll do, yeah, 3, if r0 less than or equal to num less than or equal to r1, for any is an operator that if any of the values satisfy any, and then we can add this to part 1. And yes. We are not iterating through the numbers in this, so let's iterate. So sum for num in numbers. To write it down in a simple way, that was a crisp way of writing it. For r in range, if r0 less than or equal to num less than or equal to r1, only and only then in part 1 add 1, and then break the loop. This is being done for all the nums in numbers array. For all the numbers in number array, check if the number belongs to the range, and if it does, yeah, that is how simple the answer is. For the second part that we have over here, for the second part, what we will have to do is check if all the IDs that are the fresh ingredients, we will just consider this range and written all the IDs, sum of all the IDs that are fresh, that is return number of fresh elements. Right? So here one thing we can observe over here, the number of fresh elements over here are 3, 4, 5. So 5 minus 3 is 2, and plus 1 will be equal to 3, that is 3 elements. So whatever the range is, the number of fresh elements will be the higher element, that is r1 minus r0 plus 1. This will be the here. Now this is a classic problem. Classic problem of what? First we merge the intervals. For merging these intervals, what we will do? Let's go step by step. First would be sort. Sort ranges according to first element. Second, merge. Merge the intervals. Once we merge the intervals, now the main logic is over here. So how do we merge the intervals once the elements are sorted? So now here you can see we have 3, 5, 10, 14, 12, 18, 10. Sorry, not 10. This I'm sorting it on the go. 16, 20. I'm sorting this according to the first element. Now you can see over here. First let's take the start element and the end element, which is 3 and 5 in our case. Now let's start iterating from the first element for R in merge. Okay. Now what do we check? If the next element, so this element we are sure will be, so S1 will always be less than S2. In the worst case it will be equal, right? S1 will always be less than or equal to S2, and E1 you cannot say anything about it. E2 will always be greater than S2, so S1 is always less than S2 E2, right? So now we start. If current start is what? R 0. If current start, so let's not go with current start, let's go with current end. If current end is less than or equal is less than, see, if current end, which is this, if this number, if current end, which is 5, is less than, suppose 5 is less than current start. Okay, if end is less than current start, which is R0, then we have to add that start and end. Now what do we do? Add start or end. Add S comma E, and the new start will be R0, new end will be R1, right? If that is not the case, that is end is not less than or equal to 0, else end is greater than or equal to R of 0, then what do we do? End is great, no, what do is end is less than or equal to R of 1. If this is the case that occurs, that is end is less than R of 1, it is less than this we have done, it is less than this will do. Now what will happen is end will get updated to R of 1, right? Now the third case, else if, which is end is greater than or equal to r of 1. Here we do nothing, as it will get consumed. So we are done. So the cases were, so we have a start, we have an end. Now either this line will be like this, the next will be like this, will be like this, or will be like this. So this we have covered. Last one. Now start is less than end, start is equal to end. Start is equal to end, that will lie over here, right? If start, that is a new start that is there, it is equal to end, it will lie in this, where the end will get updated. Okay. Now what will end get updated with? What will end get updated with? It will get updated with max. Yes, it will get updated with who? Update and with. So this condition can completely be removed and be written as max of end comma r1. So whenever end is less than r0, we add it. If it is over here, start, and the start is over here, any other cases, we will be giving it max. And one more case would be either this or this. So in any of these cases that we have, we will be giving it a max. Let's go through the code. You'll understand it better. Go through it. So this is the day 5. So here we are merging the intervals. So for part 1, so here we are parsing the ranges. Once we have the ranges, look over here, we are merging the intervals. If the current start, that is r of 0, is less than or equal to end. R of 0 is less than or equal to end, we are putting it in max. What we did was opposite. We did r of 0 is greater than end. If the start is greater than end, then we merge it, did this. And for others, we had the max. That is what we have done to merge the intervals. And in the end, append again. Start or end will remain. So we have to append. For part 1, we'll be adding. So here you can see, if there is any, that is, if any range satisfies this condition, only and only then add it. And if it does not, then it will pass 0. For part 2, in the merged ranges that we have, we'll subtract the start from the end and add 1. That will give the number of fresh items in that range. So I think so part 2 and part 1 are done and are pretty self-explanatory. Now, if you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments. This is the crispier version that we have over here. I like this version better because of the good naming conventions that we have followed and the spacing that we have. Over here, the main logic was for the merging of the intervals that comes here, this merging of the intervals, and everything else is just some of the numbers and mathematics. That's all. All right. Thank you.